Well, hello all the Harry Potter Magic Awakened fans. The second beta test for the global version of the game is out, and in short, they've changed everything. Once the beta test is done, I will make a separate video covering the differences between the first and the second beta test, which way I prefer, and make my guesses probably as to what the game might look like in the end. But for now, I will try and keep you updated with things I find interesting or useful in this particular beta test version, stuff that I can with some confidence say that will probably remain in the game in whatever version. So today I want to talk about dueling. That is something that is crucial to the game, all the cards, echoes and everything else surrounding it, so it's pretty safe to assume that these things will not really change. In particular, I will be looking at a tutorial that I stumbled upon in this beta test. Whether it's gonna stay or they will remove it, I don't know. Hopefully they won't, because doing these tutorials has been amazing. I've already learned so much more about dueling and how to use cards. And yeah, it's just not having that in the game, especially when you're a new player, would be a big loss. So in case they don't include this in the final version, at least we have this video. I will walk you through all the different tasks that you do in this tutorial. I'll explain what's happening, how to use each card the best, and if they do include this tutorial in the final version of the game, still, I have to say, some of those tasks actually get really frustrating because they have multiple parts and you may do the first one and do the second one, but then you fail the third one and you have to start from the beginning. And they're not very keen on giving you notes and instructions as to what exactly you're supposed to do to complete the task. So I've done that work for you. So what you do is you go to the Dueling Club. At the bottom left corner you will see a little emblem called Basics, and that's where you'll find all the tutorials. Some will be locked for you at first, but once you do the ones that are available, the other ones will become available as well. And I'll start with a couple echoes that I had already obtained by the time I did this tutorial. First will be Harry Potter's echo. Harry Potter helps increase spell damage, and in this tutorial we will be focusing on low-cost spells. The example shows damage without the echo that the cards do. It's not enough to destroy, which consequently makes things worse. You're up against creatures that multiply when being attacked, so you really want to get them on the first try. Now we'll do it with the echo. The spells we're using are Expelliarmus and Expulso. I'm starting with Expelliarmus to destroy the Madagot. It's a wide range spell and will get things done. And as you can see, Expulso in comparison is a short range spell, so I'm waiting for the Fooper to get within the spell's range to cast it. The second task is a bit more tricky since the notes actually don't give you any real information to go from. So what I'm doing is I'm using the short-range spell Opugno on the Madagot, the Monster Book of Monsters, and Ashwinder. And then I'm using Expelliarmus, which covers further distance, on the Centaur. Also, don't forget to physically move to avoid the Centaur's arrows as you attack. Dobby still remains your first echo you'll obtain, so it's good to learn how to use it, though I have to say, it can get a bit tricky. The key thing to remember is that every second move is actually apparition. The task is to dodge 3 attacks, so as the first attack is being prepared, we already walk away. Here I apparated too quickly and had to walk away from the second attack as well, but now I wait on the spot for the next attack to be paired and lock on the target, and only then apparate to save space. Now, because some of the tasks actually took me multiple attempts to figure out, I did them over and over again and skipped the explanation, so I'll cover this now quickly. So when you apparate, you actually leave a shadow behind in the location that you were before you apparated, and that shadow can actually cause damage. So what you want to do is apparate in the last moment when your opponent has already locked in on you as the target, because then you know that you will be leaving a shadow behind, the opponent's attack will hit the shadow, and not only will you have escaped direct hit, but you'll also be causing damage to your opponent. The red circle is what marks where the attack is gonna land. Wait for the circle to surround you and only then apparate. Note that in this task your first move will be apparition and then second move will be on foot instead of the other way around. So wait for the circle, apparate, walk away, wait for a circle, apparate. In the third task I'm actually using the alchemy attacks to hit the spiders as well. I allow myself to be surrounded and wait for the circle to show up before apparating. Then I use the bludger to get rid of the spiders quickly, and the alchemies are defeated the same way as previously. Wait for the circle, apparate, move, wait for the circle, apparate. Don't walk too far because you might still be on the move when the alchemy locks in on the target and will actually miss your shadow and no damage will be dealt. Plus the number of moves you have is limited, so you don't want to waste them. Friendly actions is an easy one. When fighting together with other people, you can help them with healing and shield charms, for example. Here we're using Essence of Dittany and Protego. Just drag the cards on your friend and that's it. Smart Cast is also a great feature. It allows you to automatically release cards at the most appropriate target or location. All you have to do is double tap the card. So Centaur goes in the back since it shoots arrows long distance, while the Troll goes up front because you use it as a shield in a way. A healing card will automatically land on your dueling partner as well, and Expulso will go straight to the spiders. Note that Expulso has a wide attack range for future battles. Targeting is something you need to keep in mind. You have limited amount of times that you can use a card, and the more expensive ones will take longer to recharge, and upon using a card you might end up having to wait a while before it becomes available again. So it is important to choose your cards wisely. For example, Sectum Sempra is very powerful, so save it for stronger opponents. A multi-target card is, as you would guess, a card that targets multiple close-by units. There's also cards that will only cause damage to a single unit. Summons. This is what we already talked about in Smart Cast. Units that deal damage from afar will be safer in the back, whereas trolls are like tanks, so they go in the front. But you can also always rely on Smart Cast if you're not sure about a card's placement. In a fight, you will want to get rid of the faraway units fast, otherwise they'll continue to cause damage. Causing Sectum Sempra first is a great move. It's high damage, plus it ricochets, hitting both the troll and the centaur, disposing of the later. Then summon spiders to deal with the troll and get out of the way. With aerial units, you can only attack them by using anti-air spells. Here we need to use two cards. Both Stupefy and Sectum Sempra are great options. In general, spells should work well because unlike some summons, they are not tied to the ground. Movement cards we covered in depth with Dobby Echo already. They are the grey cards with steps on them at the left side of your deck, and the number indicates how many moves you have. Just click where you want to be and your character will start moving. Spell combinations. So MP is the energy bar. Max amount is 10. If you have that, you can use multiple cards, one right after the other. It is suggested here to summon Ashwinder before using any other cards, and I'll explain you why. Though I would suggest in this particular case to manually place it at the front instead of using Smart Cast, which would put it in the back. So after casting Ashwinder, every time you use another card, the Ashwinder hatches another little Ashwinder that will cause damage to other units as well. Placing the Ashwinder at the front creates a smaller distance for the little Ashwinders to cross to reach the targets. So summon the Ashwinder, then cast Inflato and Bewitch Snowball to take care of 2 out of 3 groups of Spiderlings. And let the 2 baby Ashwinders take care of the 3rd group. You want to cast the 2nd spell fast so that the baby Ashwinder doesn't reach the same target as one of the spells. Now let's talk about basic attacks. They're automatic low damage attacks you use whenever an opponent is within your attack range. I decided to show the failed attempts as well so you can see exactly what to do. So mistake number 1 is being too far. If the dog is not within your attack range, the stun spell will lose its effect before you reach the dog and can start causing damage. Mistake number 2, being too close. Casting Incarcerus while being in the dog's attack range will put you at risk. What you want to do is be relatively close when binding the dog and stay within reach to cast basic attacks. Once the dog is free, don't forget to move to keep out of harm's way while still attacking. Companions are another type of cards that you want to choose wisely. Once you learn about the different types of companions and the different types of echoes, you will be able to choose ones that work in great synergy with both the echoes as well as the other cards on your deck. They are very strong, but keep in mind that their use in a battle is limited. Here the task is to actually destroy your opponent's companion. Acting fast is your top priority. I used Accio to take away Robin's, the companion's broom. Since she is an aerial unit, without it, she's pretty much helpless. With the companion gone, I can summon spiders, which will take care of the statue, and all I have to do is not get in the way. And this is it for now. I hope you found this useful. I will try to make another video tomorrow, or at least the day after that. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!